In this episode, I'm going to tell you how I changed things up and why. Hey, what's going on? What's going on? What's going on? This is Michael Sahno, and welcome to the Sea and Land Fitness Podcast. This is your one-stop shop for everything in the military and endurance fitness world. This podcast is brought to you by, of course, Sea and Land Fitness, which you can see in all the hats and the poster in the back and the hat I'm wearing. Head on over to www.sandlfit, that's sandlfit.com, and see what we can do for you to help you on your military endurance fitness journey. All right. So, I was gone last week. So, it was Father's Day. I am a father. I have a beautiful son. And he is now at the University of Florida. Go Gators, my alma mater. And I took the week off. I know I'm spotty here in terms of taking a week off when I only do it every other. What do I do it? I think I do it every other 2 weeks, but whatever. I'm back. I took a week off just to enjoy the day, because the day that I do these episodes and then edit them and get them all up to you just happened to fall on Father's Day, and I was like, screw it, I'm taking the day. Sorry guys, but why did I say in the intro that I'm changing things up? Because, hold on, I'm gonna have a sip of coffee here. I am moving my training in order to give you guys some good info. I'm doing a little personal body research on myself. So I'm shifting my training out of strength, heavy weights and stuff like that. And I'm moving it over into a little bit more calisthenics oriented, and heavy cardio. Okay. Cardio 5 days a week. And the reason I'm doing that is because I think I had spoken about it before. I'm having trouble doing pull-ups, and I have to do pull-ups for one of the videos that I have to make for you guys. So I am engaging in a lot more calisthenics strength development than heavy weight, barbell, dumbbell strength programming for myself. So one of the things that I decided to do is I could either, so I said I can't do a pull-up right now because of my weight. My weight is around 275. But if you see pictures of me, if you see me in person, you'll say, holy crap, you're 275. I would have never guessed. Because big shoulders, big back, big legs. So it's become kind of a chore to take that 275 and really, even get myself up to, a bend in my elbows to bring my chin up, which has been a little disheartening for me, which is fine. I'll get through it. But there's a little bit of, performance psychology that I have to attach to this in terms of getting myself going and understanding that just because I can't do it now doesn't mean I won't be able to do it later. And if I attempt to do it now and I fail, what does that mean for me emotionally? All things you have to think about, because you have to keep driving forward. You have to keep putting, one foot forward in front of the other. So that, Excuse me, I got something. Let me take a sip real quick. Peter Madeira. Coffee's for you. So I have to attack the psychological as well as the physiological, but I also don't want to keep hopping on that bar with stretch bands. You know, I've got these resistance bands that I'm using that are actually getting my chin above the bar, allowing me to, flex my elbows. And over time, what I'm going to do is I'm going to release, I'm going to remove one of those bands, when I get to a position of strength where I don't need a specific band anymore. I'll remove the big one. Then I'll leave the medium and the small one on there. Then I'll get to a point where I remove the small one or the medium one, leave only the small one on there. But that's a really long process if I maintain the weight that I have right now, which I don't want to. So rather than beat my head against the proverbial wall, what I've decided to do is go cardio heavy 5 days a week and really attack the weight, try to remove the weight. As a bunch of you know, I went on Wegovy, lost a significant amount of weight, and then gained about 2/3 of it back, about 60% of it back, actually. Not 2/3. Yeah, it's about 59%. I remember that number. I gained 59% back. So I got to lose this weight so I can do that exercise, so I can do all the movies and one of the all the videos for you guys. So one of the things that I thought that I would do over the next week or two, we just got hit with this huge heat wave, so I might push that back a week or two. But do a couple of videos, put them up on YouTube, and have that be the weight loss program. I think that'd be a really good idea. I think getting that up for you guys so you'll have something immediately to start using. Hey, I want to get bigger. I want to get stronger for, boot camp or a selection. But then if we don't address the weight for some of you guys, myself included, then it's a moot point trying to get you guys, stronger, because you're just going to be stronger moving a weight that in the future you're not going to have. So let's do the the mental algebra and lose the weight so we can do less work in the future. Does that make sense? So how am I doing this? How am I getting rid of this weight? I'm having another sip of coffee. How am I doing this? How am I going to lose this weight? I actually already have started to lose the weight. So just a and this is what it's going to be like, and this is what I got to tell you guys about. So I started this program, lost 2 pounds in the first week. Was like, what? I found the key. I did my weigh in this morning, which is the day I'm supposed to do it, and gained 2 pounds, which was kind of a punch in the gut. But my wife was very awesome in coming to me immediately and saying, it's 90 degrees, 100% humidity, feels like 101 degrees outside. You're retaining water. You need to wait a day or two and do this on a day when it's going to be a lot cooler and a lot less humid. And I was like, oh yeah, you're right. Okay. So actually I probably lost another 2 pounds and regained it in water weight. And this is where the performance psychology, the sports psychology comes in. I have to let myself understand that. It's one thing to tell myself that, oh, you need to tell yourself that. Hey, that's all great. But if you don't receive the message the way you're supposed to, it's very easy to quit. I'm not going to quit because I love the process. I enjoy doing the work. So, but I do have to be mindful of the fact that I could be putting myself into a difficult position. mentally, where thoughts of quitting and ruminating over the negative things could come about. So what am I doing? So I'm heavier. So my first inclination would be get out there and run. Okay. But we have to take into consideration my weight, which means if you're overweight, if you're obese and you're trying to lose weight, we have to take that into consideration as well. So this is why I'm guiding you with this information. So running for me is out. I have to get below a certain weight in order to start running. I have to get down to, in order to effectively start running and not put too much stress on my hips and my knees and my ankles, I have to be down to about 250 pounds, because I think 240 is with all my muscle, is my mean weight. Okay. That's the weight that I'm supposed to be at. Anywhere from 230 to 240 pounds, right in that window. So at 275, 280 pounds, weird how it keeps going up. I weighed in, I was 282, okay, this morning. And last week I was 280. So that's where I am right now. Let's be honest. So I have to get down to about 250 pounds before I can start running. So that presents a problem. What the hell do I do? So I'm lucky. I live across the street from a state park, across the river from West Point. So there are a ton of trails. There are a ton of really vertical trails too. Nice inclines for me to go up to really get a nice, good, steady cardio workout. I did my first week with 3 Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 3 2 mile hikes. But understand, a mile or 2 miles may not sound like much, but when you add altitude, when you add incline, the level of work exponentially increases. Your heart rate goes through the roof. So you got to be careful. And it's really an intense workout. I get home and it's funny because my shirt is just soaked, from the top to the bottom. It is soaked with sweat. My shorts are soaked with sweat. When I take everything off and I'm just in my underwear and I sit down, I feel like, have you ever sat down in a chair after it rained? That's kind of how it feels. Now that I think about it, I'm going to have to use Fantastic on this chair. But regardless, if you are a male or female who wants to get out there and you are overweight and you want to really get into some cardio, what you need to do, grab yourself a backpack with a camelback, or grab yourself a backpack with a water bottle in it with probably, I would say, 3 liters. You know what I mean? What is that? Like, let's just, if I was going to go out, I would, and didn't have a camelback, I would take about a half gallon of water with me, just because you're going to need it. You're going to be sweating, especially in the summer, especially in the winter. Actually, a lot of people don't know, when you go hiking in the winter, you really gotta hydrate. And if you have one of these watches, a Garmin, every once in a while, check your heart rate. And if your heart rate is through the roof, come on, think about it. We're overweight. We're not super skinny. We're carrying a very heavy load when we go out and do these hikes. You want to check your heart rate. And if your heart rate's getting too high, take 5 minutes. Do a deep belly breath. Breathe in, let your belly come out when you breathe in, breathe out. Do that 3-5 times and really bring that heart rate down. and then continue. Um, you're not going to bring your heart rate down so low that you will stop, the fat burning process. But that's what I do 3 days a week. That's what I do on my Monday, Wednesday, and Friday religiously. I've done it for the past 2 weeks. And it's funny, I wake up and I feel my knees bouncing, my legs bouncing, like, all right, I gotta get out of the house. I gotta go do something. Another sip of coffee. Sorry about that. But that is what I recommend, and that is what I'm seeing results on. I'm actually going to do another weigh-in tomorrow because it's supposed to go down a lot. The heat's supposed to go down significantly tomorrow, so I'll get you that data. And what do I do outside of that? So I'm a big avid swimmer. I've been swimming since I was a kid, lifeguard since I was in high school, did a bunch of swimming when I was in the Navy. Um, not so much in the Army, but I live for being in the pool. So if you have access to a pool, my Thursdays and Saturdays, I swim a half mile doing a breaststroke. I do a breaststroke because that's a very low impact stroke that you can do for an exceptionally long time. If you're doing freestyle, which is arm over arm, you can do that. If you can do a half mile, definitely do it. But I don't think the people I'm talking to, I know I can't right now. That's a significant load to carry with that much energy exertion doing, you know, I'll get there, but I'm not there right now. So I do a nice, strong breaststroke. If you can't do a strong breaststroke, or don't have access to a pool, go out to maybe go out to a track, like a high school track, or walking flat walking trail at a park, or a road around your house, and map out 2 miles and walk 2 miles. Walk, don't run. Walk 2 miles. Again, with that backpack, so you have water. Um, what we're trying to do is we're trying to maintain a steady state of activity over a prolonged period of time. That's what cardiovascular exercise is. A steady state of movement exercise done over a prolonged period of time. And my choice is doing the hike. I recommend doing the hike, even if you live in an urban area. You can do a nice you can go to maybe a park or something like that. I know if you live in Florida or Texas or a coastal area, they have trails. Um, try to get yourself to a trail. Um, I know if you live in New York City, you can go to Central Park, or you can go to some of the parks in any of the other boroughs. But there's a place where you can go and you can put that half gallon of water on your back, um, and then either swim or walk on those 2 other days. The I on Tuesday, I'm locked up on Tuesday. I go over to West Point and shoot at the cadet range. Transru, what's up, guys? Love you. So otherwise, I would do it Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. But because of that schedule, I do Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and it works out great for me. And I'm going to keep you guys posted on my weight loss. If you guys want to try this, I'm going to do some videos about this little exercise regimen that I do, and you'll be able to see it, and see the programming that I do for it. I think that's a good thing. I think that'll help you guys. And then where am I going with this? Am I just going to do this? No, I'm not going to just do this. So I've taken an advanced step that you can take. Um, and that step is, in my first week, I did it and was able to do it pretty much without effort. Even the incline, I was able to do. There's this cliff that I go to. It's beautiful, beautiful view. If you check my Instagram, I did a morning motivation. Keep an eye on my Instagram. It's SNL Fit. Keep an eye on my Instagram. You'll be able to find a lot of my morning motivations that I do there. Hopefully those will help, little tidbits of things that help me that I'm hoping will help you. But I found that in the first week, due to all my strength training, especially for my lower body with squats and stuff like that, that I was able to pretty much grind this stuff out with minimal effort. So I wanted to add another layer of asshole to it, another layer of difficulty to it. So what I did was I have the 20-pound weight vest from 511. I have a bunch of them. You could see it over my shoulder. That's one of the 5 that I have. Love you guys. 511. They're a sponsor of our program. So they give us equipment. So if you have a chance, go over and check them out. I put on a 511 plate carrier with 2 8-pound weights, which with the whole rig, it equates to about 20 pounds. So I'm walking with 20 pounds. And then I got my Camelback, which has, 3 liters of water in it. And that hurts my glutes. A little bit of butt pain. But, are your butt hurt? Yes, as a matter of fact. So I've been doing that. You can do that. But what I would recommend is if you are coming from a 0 level of fitness, meaning you're thinking about getting into this and you've never done it before, don't put on the weight vest. Do it for 4 weeks and then consider the weight vest and see how your body's adapted to the exercise. If it's adapted, definitely do it. You can also reach out to me. I am an NSCA, National Strength and Conditioning Association, TSAC. That's a tactical strength and conditioning facilitator. I can give you direction on that. I'm more than happy to do that. But that's what I've done to add a little bit. And then as far as the breaststroke, what I've done is I put a resistance band to restrict my legs. So basically I'm using only arms when I swim that half mile. It's I'd say it's a bear, but I've been doing it so long like that it's second nature to me. I love it. Actually, when I don't have a resistance band and I'm swimming, I'm like, oh my gosh, it's so easy to swim. Duh, moron. But whatever. But all right, that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing now for the cardio program. I have taken 4 weeks off from any strength training with there's 2 reasons why I'm doing that. One, I'm doing that because I really want to get the benefits of straight up cardio and acclimate to that level of fitness that I'm pretty much pushing myself to with the weight vest and with the inclines, and all that from hiking. And I also have an overuse injury in my elbow. It's like tennis elbow, but it's 2 to 6 weeks for it to heal. Some say 4 to 6 weeks, so I'm taking 4 weeks off from doing any upper body stuff. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to start the calisthenics program again. I am not abandoning the strength training, but for right now, in the cycle that I'm at, Weight loss is important to me right now. Weight loss is my primary goal. So I'm going to be doing everything I can to maintain muscle strength, but also doing things in a way that promote muscular endurance and help me lose weight. And calisthenics is a really great way to do that with push-ups, sit-ups, pull-ups, chin-ups, doing both of those to work some muscles in the so pull-ups are this way, chin-ups are this way, but chin-ups are also a great way to work the back at a different angle. And the other thing I'm doing is I'm doing sit-ups. I think I said that, but I'm also doing flutter kicks, which if you go into the Navy, you're going to know what flutter kicks are. They're unending, but they're a great abdominal abdominal exercise. The other thing I'm doing is, if you could see in the back, I have these RDX impact pads. You wear them on your hands, for boxing and stuff like that. And my son and I are going in the backyard and doing knee touch. And that's where you put it at waist height, a little above waist height, and you go 1, 2, 1, 2, where your knees are hitting the pad. And I do about 100 of those. 100 sounds like a lot, but it's not. My son does 50, and we're getting him up to 100 too, because he's a rock star who just got a B in Spanish, B plus. He's so awesome. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. I am going to work over the next couple of weeks to get this into a program that I'm going to have on our YouTube site and on our site. I want this one to be free because this one is the one that's going to help the most people. Yeah, so we're going to get that up, and we're going to get the calisthenics one up. Maybe I'll make the calisthenics one pay. I don't know. Maybe. No, we'll do it for free, because why not? We're going to do the cardio and the calisthenics one, because we want to help you guys out. And that's all I got for you guys. Don't forget to go over to Sea and Land Fitness and check out all the stuff we got. That's www.sandlfit.com. Check it out. We've got all these great hats. We've got Garmin watches. Remember, I was talking about watches. You're going to need to be checking your heart rate. We've got a bunch of great prices on watches. And if you're a veteran, reach out to me. I'm also thinking about doing some kind of challenge where I give away a knife, and I don't know if that's going to be a Gerber knife or a SOG knife. Those are two companies that I really love. Because if you're hiking in the woods, you should have a knife on you. All right. And if you're doing this for, for exercise, you're going to be out in the woods, you're going to be out somewhere, and you should have a knife on you. Not for defense, maybe, but mostly just because you should always have a tool on you to help yourself out if you get into a jam. But yeah, I'm going to be thinking about doing that, and trying to figure out which one to give you. And that's all I got for you guys, okay? Later.